Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, there's been a major earthquake just off the coast of Indonesia. It was first registered at 6.9. One of the seismologist websites has moved it down to 6.7. And I just seen that the USGS Geological Survey has just dropped it from 6.9 to 6.5. But this thing was a major shaking, a major quake. It took place in Indonesia. Now, this strong quake, according to the Hawaiian newspapers, they're saying it doesn't pose a tsunami threat to Hawaii. We're still monitoring it to be sure it doesn't create a tsunami anywhere in Indonesia. But certainly this was a very powerful mega quake of 6.9. It happened about 3 hours ago. I also want you to know something. There's some other things taking place. This isn't the only quakes. Every day now, we've been noticing 35 to 45 earthquakes, somewhere between 2.5 and higher. There's been 33 earthquakes, actually, in the last 24 hours. The big ones were a 4.7 on the Fiji Islands, a 4.3 in Tanzania, a 5.6, very strong, in India, 4.6 in the Carlsberg Ridge. There was a 4.8 in Indonesia, a 4.4 still threatening that volcano in Iceland, a 4.7 in China, a strong 5.9, which was downgraded, in Taiwan. They downgraded it to 5.9. It was stronger. 4.4 in the Philippines, 4.2 in Japan, 4.6 in Papua New Guinea, 5.2 in Afghanistan, and of course this 6.9 downgraded to 6.5 there in Indonesia. Also a 4.7 in Indonesia and a 4.8 in the Philippines. That doesn't also take into account smaller quakes like 3.4 in Alaska, 3.0 in Oregon, 3.0 in Kansas, 2.8 in California, 3.2 Oregon, 2.7 Oregon, 2.5 Oklahoma. Speaking of Oklahoma, and a 3.3 just hit Oklahoma a few minutes ago. Besides all of that, there's a report, according to scientists. I want to thank Troy of North Carolina, and I also want to thank Reverend Gary for some good research on this. Also want to thank Rose for some good research earlier today's videos. And many others of you out there who do research, thank you so much. Here's what they're saying out of Oklahoma City. Now remember, Oklahoma City is where the Black Mass took place. The satanic worship down in the basement of the Civic Center. It's also where the Lap Lucifer is going to be setting there on the Capitol grounds next to the Ten Commandment monument. Oops, I'm sorry. A guy possessed with the devil said the devil told him to do it, crashed into the Ten Commandment monument and destroyed it. The last time I seen the Ten Commandment stones busted, it wasn't a good thing. Remember Moses? He was so angry at the idolatry. He threw the stones, the tablet stones on the ground and broke them into pieces. 3,000 people died that day. Let me tell you what they're saying. Oklahoma City. While the actual earthquakes may be centered just north of Oklahoma City, the state capital is the epicenter. The study held by Oklahoma lawmakers are looking into the connection between the oil and gas activity, or fracking it's called, and the earthquakes. It looks like someone hit our country with a shotgun with as many holes that are being punched in Payne County with hydraulic fracking and injection wells. It's been such a dramatic increase of state and seismologists like Austin Holland can barely keep up. There's been 4,600 earthquakes this year alone in Oklahoma. 14 a day. Now, I only report the ones 2.5 and higher. But this shows you how much activity in Oklahoma. It's pretty remarkable how many significant earthquakes we've had. Now, the largest earthquake in history in Oklahoma is a 5.6 magnitude quake that hit Prague back in 2011. But large quakes are happening more often now. It's concerning. Just for one reason, the more small and moderate size earthquakes we have, the more likely we are going to have a larger, potentially damaging earthquake. So as this earthquake continues at this rate, we become more and more likely to have a significant earthquake. It's something the United States Geological Survey is tracking as well. Seismologist Robert Williams, it's something they're tracking specifically, watching for any sign of the next big one. And of course, the epicenter would be Oklahoma City. Are you serious? What? Jesus said. Now, I don't know if fracking is causing the increase in earthquake activity in Oklahoma or not. The whole world has an increase in earthquakes. The ring of fire is just that, on fire. And the Bible, Jesus said there would be famines, pestilences or plagues, and earthquakes in divers places. And also, the Bible talks about earthquakes, great earthquakes that will come up on the earth in the last days. So we know we're seeing an increase of quakes. It was prophesied it would happen, especially when you're right toward the end of time. And obviously, that is what's taking place. Are you saved? That's a great question. I mean, I didn't ask you if you're safe. I'm asking you, are you saved? Have you been born again? Is Christ your Savior? Because you're standing on shaky ground. Matter of fact, the book of Isaiah talks about it in Isaiah 24, verse 20, that the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard. And it's doing it already. Something biblical is going on with the signs of the second coming of Christ. Give your life to Jesus. Time is running out.